To the Cosmic Busker. My name is Bobby Codey. This video is about possible signs of life on Saturn's moon. Enceladus, I believe is how you pronounce it. Might be Enceladus, I'm not sure. This is a moon of Saturn. We're going to read through this article and then I'm just going to touch base on a few insights of my own regarding life elsewhere in the solar system as well as in the universe. So as you can see, this website is Futurism. Article was dated July 7th. It's written by Victor Tangermann. I'm going to provide a link to the article down below, as well as two other articles that this website has done regarding life or possible signs of life on this same moon. And I'll talk about that at the end of this video in general. I'm not going to speak about those particular articles. I'm going to speak about the whole general idea of life elsewhere. So as you see, scientists intrigued by possible signs of life on Saturn's moon says it's very likely hydrothermal vents on Enceladus, that's how I'm going to pronounce it, could be habitable to Earth-like microorganisms. Now we'll go on to the next portion. I just have to move this down a little. The icy crust enveloping Saturn's moon Enceladus has long fascinated astronomers. Evidence collected by NASA and the European Space Agency's Cassini-Huygens spacecraft suggests the shell could be hiding a massive subsurface ocean made up of briny water underneath it, which tantalizingly could potentially harbor life. According to a new study by a team from the University of Arizona and Paris Sciences and Letters University, published in the journal Nature Astronomy last month, Cassini's observations that found Enceladus is expelling plumes of methane gas suggest that the moon's subsurface oceans may be habitable to Earth-like microorganisms. I'm going to move this again. I'm going to be moving this a lot during this, unfortunately. That's just the way it's going to be here. We wanted to know, could Earth-like microbes that eat the dihydrogen and produce methane explain the surprisingly large amount of methane detected by Cassini? Asked Regis Ferrieri, an associate professor at the University of Arizona and a lead author of the study, in a statement. But figure out the answer for sure is far from easy. Searching for such microbes, known as methanogens, at Enceladus' seafloor would require extremely challenging deep dive missions that are not in sight for several decades, he added. The team constructed mathematical models to see if methanogenesis could account for the data collected by Cassini. Their conclusion: microbial hydrothermal vent activity, or processes that would involve extraterrestrial microorganisms, could explain the methane detected by Cassini. Now, my understanding, I haven't looked this up, but methanogenesis is essentially methane created from life. I think farts are essentially methane. So cows farting, that's methanogenesis. That's life creating methane. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the end of this video. As we continue on, I'm going to pop this up here. Can you still see me up there? Yeah, that should be good. On Earth, hydrothermal activity is caused by cold seawater dipping into the ocean floor, where it gets warmed up by local sources of heat like magma. This water then gets expelled out of vents in the ocean floor, a process that drips methane into the water over time. Most of this methane is released by microorganisms that use the heat as a source of energy, turning carbon dioxide into methane. And the methane is expelled by the microorganisms, gets into the air, and you can detect it. And that's what they hypothesize is happening now on this Saturn's moon of Enceladus. I'm certain I'm probably pronouncing that right, but it is what it is. According to their simulations, the researchers found that similar conditions could exist on Enceladus. In summary, not only could we evaluate whether Cassini's observations are compatible with an environment habitable for life, but we could also make quantitative predictions about observations to be expected should methanogenesis actually occur at Enceladus' seafloor, Ferrier said in the statement. In fact, without the existence of biological sources of methane production, the levels of methane observed by Cassini couldn't be matched using their models. Still, it would be premature to draw any definite conclusions. So based on what in other words, what they're saying is, their models say, this got to be biology. There's no other way that all of this methane could be produced. So we're done with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this a little so you can see me a little bit better. It's a little dark in here, so sorry for the darkness and the bad view. I usually use a different camera. That's why you sometimes see me switching back and forth. I just want to talk about this real quick. Sorry again for the hazy view. But this signs of methane has also been detected on Mars. And there's no logical explanation for the Mars methane that has been detected as well, because the Mars methane is seasonal. Okay? And there is no known, now they say that theoretically it could be something geologic in nature. You know, cracks are opening, letting up the methane, etc. But there's no seasonal aspect to geology that should be releasing methane. The only logical explanation for the methane releases that are seen to be seasonal on Mars is, again, the presence of life on Mars. And I've done videos on that. I'll be throwing up some cards up there so you can take a look at my past videos on life on Mars, including trees and lakes on Mars. Pop that one up there right now, because that's a great video. We've photographed trees and lakes on Mars. They're not telling you that, are they? No, NASA isn't saying a word about that. So if there's trees and lakes on Mars, yeah, there might then be little microbes creating methane as well on Mars. Now, what I'd also like to state is, it's not just Mars or this moon of Saturn. Life permeates the universe. It's everywhere. Matter of fact, there's life you can't even see going on around you right now. Excuse me. We are only able to perceive a small fraction of the light spectrum. You know, light spectrum is electromagnetic waves. We can see, Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. And, there's ultraviolet, there's infrared, all these other light aspects that we can't see. We now have special goggles and such that we can now use those special goggles or cameras to see that light. But our own eyes aren't able to see this light. And it's already happened. I've seen, and I may do another video on this, a gentleman, a scientist, has developed a means with his camera where he could see, I think it's like antimatter or stuff. I have to remind myself and do research on it. But when he programmed or created his camera to be able to see this kind of antimatter, like antiprotons, anti-electrons, he found life. He recorded life on this specialized camera that we cannot see, that was flying around all over the place. Okay? We're going to end up seeing that life permeates the universe. Places where we never would exist expected. I can almost certainly guarantee to you, Jupiter is a huge gas giant. They're gonna find, how there's in our oceans, there's jellyfish, these blobs essentially that float around. That's life. They're gonna find out that there's these like jellyfish-like things floating around in Jupiter, and it's life. Same as Saturn. Venus, there was just recently the detection of, I think it's phosphine. I'm doing this by memory off the top of my head. I believe phosphine is the name of the chemical. I'm going to throw up a video to Lex Fridman. He's got a great podcast that he does interviews with. It's become very popular. And he did one with a woman who was a phosphine expert. And they talked about how they found phosphine on Venus. And the only explanation for the phosphine on Venus? Life. It's almost like the equivalent of methane. Methane is expelled by life. We know that biological life on Earth and Mars and Enceladus and other places. Well, on Venus, methane can't exist, I believe, because of the conditions that exist on Venus. It's such a hot place. But they find phosphine. And they think that the only logical explanation, again, for this phosphine is that it's biological life farting phosphine. Everywhere we're going to find life. And not only on, like I said, Jupiter, Mars, moons of Saturn. We're going to find it in outer space. We're going to find life floating around in outer space. Not a question. I've already seen enough evidence myself that I can't tell you about, that absolutely, unequivocally, I know it for a fact. Eventually, hopefully, we'll all find it out as we become more informed about the universe in which we live. So everybody, thanks for watching. Sorry for the poor camera quality. But it is what it is. I just decided to do this really quick right now. But other than that, everybody like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Got a PayPal down below. If you'd like to make it so I have better quality cameras, much better vision here so you can see me better and all my goofiness. My PayPal's down below. Throw me some cash and maybe I'll be able to upgrade my equipment. And I've also been thinking about doing a completely different channel, which would be, I don't want to spill the beans on it, but it's something very interesting. But I can't do it with I can do it with the equipment I have. It's all right. I can pull it off with the equipment I have. But I need some background stuff and a different version of what's going on behind me. There's no way I can do it with this cruddy wall and all this stuff behind me. It just wouldn't be good enough. So if you want to help me with that, PayPal link down below. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll have another video very soon. Thanks for watching.